Hello, everybody, and welcome to a very special edition of Political Junkies. I'm MAGA Jesse.
And I'm William Beck. We are doing a tier list of all the Republican presidential candidates, the ones that have announced and those who have yet to announce. And I think this is going to be kind of fun because we may end up agreeing more than we disagree on a lot of these.
Probably.
But we'll see.
Yep, and so just to explain how this list works, maybe you guys have seen previous videos of other people doing these types of tier lists. S is superior, S is supreme, S is at the top, and then it goes all the way down, A, B, C, D, and F. So we're going to be grading these candidates on how we feel about them, how we feel on policy, and if they've got any chance in hell of being able to win this thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into this thing.
Yeah, so let's start with, I don't even know who this guy is, so I'm dumping him.
Yeah, I don't know who that is either.
I don't know who this guy is either, so I'm also dumping him. Again, if we don't know who you are, you're not going to make a good president.
We're political junkies.
Yeah,
we're political junkies, and if we don't even know who these people are, how can anybody expect to know who these people are? So both of them, they got no chance, so F tier they go.
Sorry, guys.
Yep.
All right, from now on, let's we'll go in order of where they're at. Greg Abbott, look, he's been an okay governor of Texas.
Great on immigration.
Good on immigration. A lot of other problems. He kept his state locked down longer than he should have. He had the mask mandates and all that. So, look, he's fine, but he got a very good primary challenger from Don Huffines back in 2022 for a reason.
And Alan West as well. So
and Alan West,
two different wings of the conservative, movement going after Greg Abbott. So it goes to show that there's a lot of problems with him. I think C or B tier is what I would stick him in.
I kind of want to put him in C tier.
Keep it in C.
All right, John Bolton.
My favorite.
My
favorite.
B is for Bolton. Just kidding.
No.
He's going down in F tier, even behind these other two losers. I don't know who these guys are, but John Bolton is most certainly behind him.
I'd take a random guy over John Bolton.
Yeah, you'd
100%. So he's definitely, probably the worst ever. So
yeah, he'd probably try nuking the swing states instead of campaigning there. So.
Yeah, right.
All right. Next we have, man, we're starting with the worst ones.
Yeah, asshole Hutchinson, right?
Okay, well.
Asa Hutchinson.
I thought we had a family-friendly audience.
Something like that. But Asa Hutchinson, another rhino governor, no good.
No good.
So, and he's also got no chance in hell at winning this thing. I don't know what he's doing to run. I mean, it's obviously just for money. He's probably just trying to get a book deal and then make some money, and who knows what his goal is. But yeah, I'd say stick him right towards the bottom there, maybe a D tier. What do you think?
Maybe a D tier, like he's more serious than these guys. He's actually running for one thing, as opposed to these three, which, again, these two, I really am puzzled as to who they are.
Right, I've been trying to think about it since we decided to do this video, and I can't figure it out. So.
Tell us in the comments if you recognize these guys. I thought it was John Tester at first, but that wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Oh, maybe Mike Rogers. I think that is him. Yeah, the congressman.
Oh, the congressman.
Yep.
Okay, so in that case, we'll move him up. Just kidding. Yeah.
You can make him a D. Now that we know who he is, he's a D tier.
He's someone.
He's a person.
He is someone.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Chris Christie.
Yeah, this guy. I mean, come on, Chris Christie. I mean, he's actually a really good debater. He's very good on his feet. He knows how to take people out. He destroyed Marco Rubio, but on the issues, he is about as bad as it gets.
Well, right. He was governor of New Jersey. And, if you're a Republican becoming governor of New Jersey, you're probably a rhino. You're probably not an actual conservative because there's no way in heck that any of the Democrats in New Jersey are voting for you.
He did take on the teachers union in a lot of important ways. So there are some conservative credentials to him.
Sure.
I don't think he is maybe as bad as Bolton, for example. So, I don't know. I would say he's in the D tier as well. What do you think?
I don't want you to out-conservative me. But I was going to say C tier right behind Abbott, but maybe D. I'm putting him ahead of Asa, though, because I do think that he's a more serious candidate. He has run for president before, and he has some of that Trump element to him when he's, debating people.
Yeah, he's a bomb thrower.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, D tier is fine. Chris Sununu. I keep getting Brian Kemp and Chris Sununu confused. Don't they look similar?
A little bit.
They're both rhino-ish too. Ish. I'm not as hard on Brian Kemp as everybody else is. Sununu, he's governor of New Hampshire. he wins by a landslide every time. I don't know what term he's on, but he's been doing this for a while.
Yeah.
Probably C tier behind Greg Abbott.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Because I think he banned vaccine passports in his state. Because he had some actual conservatives in the legislature who pushed him to do that. So.
Yeah, and I've talked to some New Hampshire legislators before. They say that he's a rhino. They say that he's no good, that he's not for liberty. But overall, he's not as bad as some of these other Republican governors that are out there. And he's more for freedom than some of these others. But I think C tier is a fine place for him to be.
I think C tier is, yeah.
Yep.
All right, let's skip Trump. Let's leave Trump for the end.
All right. Doug Burgum, huh? So the North Dakota governor, and same thing, I was listening to the radio, people say, this guy's a rhino, this guy's no good, he can't even run North Dakota. So it's another one of those situations where this guy has no chance. Who knows what he's trying to do, either make money, trying to get his name out there for something. And also, it looks like he's got maybe some ties to Bill Gates and Microsoft and whatnot.
Really?
So that's skeptical to me. I look at that and I go, I don't think so. I don't want anyone affiliated with Bill Gates. So I would think F or D, your choice here.
I'm going to put him ahead of Bolton and behind this rando.
Sure.
All right, Glenn Youngkin, the Republican governor of Virginia. He won in kind of a shocker. Not a shocker. I think people were kind of hoping that he was going to win, but back in 2021. So he's been good so far. Like he kind of encapsulates that MAGA crowd while also bringing over some moderates and even some Democrats. So I think he'd be a strong contender for the presidency if he ran. He's been good on issues like keeping the grooming, the gender nonsense of the classrooms. He's been good with masks and vaccine mandates. He banned mask mandates in Virginia. I'm saying either A or B.
Yeah, I would think B because he's being a little coy on where he stands on these issues. If he's going to run for president, you better say it already because, we're not going to sit here and wait forever for you to make up your mind, Glenn Youngkin.
And what he's doing is he wants to focus on the Virginia state elections first. He wants to try
his
to
lieutenant
get
governor,
there.
Winsome Sears, I know that she is now a never-Trumper. She decided to, make an anti-endorsement
now a
of Trump.
never-Trumper. How can you be a never-Trumper if you're previously a Trumper?
That's what I'm wondering, too. That's what I'm wondering.
Well, that was a question for you.
Hey, well, I'm telling you, that's what she's doing. I'm not going to justify or explain Winsome Sears for you.
Nobody identifies as a never-Trumper. You're the one who's calling her a never-Trumper.
She's the one that made an anti-endorsement of Trump. That means you're not for Trump, a never-Trumper.
Okay. Well, look, I'm not gonna sit here and
we can stick with B tier though. I'm fine with that.
You didn't get my Telegram notification in there, did you?
Who's that? Me?
Huh? No, I'm asking Dawson. What? Did you get my Telegram notification on the screen recording there?
I didn't notice anything.
Okay. Okay, good. So I think so. All right, carry on. Kristi Noem. She's fine. Not in that way, you sickos. She didn't lock down her state, so that's why she gained some kind of national popularity, the governor of South Dakota. But she's a little corrupt, maybe just a little corrupt. She got her daughter a real estate license when her daughter failed the exam. Rumor has it she's sleeping with Corey Lewandowski. I don't know if you've seen that one.
That's what some people say, and also, she was, doing the same thing like Governor Cuomo of, sending sick COVID-infected people to nursing homes.
I've heard a little bit about that. Yeah.
And I'm sure she probably didn't know what was going on. But if you're the governor of your state, that means you have no excuse for that type of behavior, and she should have been on top of it, especially if she was going to claim to be a freedom warrior like she claimed. So, I'd say B to C. What do you say?
I'll put her in B right behind my friend Glenn.
That sounds good.
We'll do that. Larry Elder, so popular radio show host. He ran for governor of California during the recall election in, what year was that?
2021.
Was it 2021? And he lost, obviously, but now he's running for president. I think he's great on the issues, actually. Like, he gets most of them right.
But he's running a terrible presidential campaign, right?
Well, right. He's not even running,
not
from what I can
anything.
tell. Yeah.
Right, and one thing I didn't like about his governor campaign when he was running in the recall election, he refused to debate his opponents. He refused to debate the other Republicans. He kind of was saying, suggesting that, oh, it should just be him because, you know, he's the most popular. It should just be anointed to him. I disagree with that. I think that he should have taken it seriously, should have gone against these other people. Kevin Kiley, for example, he was a good conservative candidate for governor.
Don't you defend Trump for saying that he's not going to participate in the Republican presidential debates?
The first couple, why would he sit there and debate these losers? We don't even know who two of them are, you know? So why is Trump going to go up there and debate 12 idiots? No, he might have to debate DeSantis towards the end, maybe another one or two, maybe Pence, but it really doesn't make any sense. You're refuting
your own point here that you were saying about Larry Elder. You said that you don't like him because he wouldn't debate his opponents.
Well, Larry Elder is not Trump. Larry Elder is not a guy who was the former president. You know, that's the thing. Trump, he has the, you know, almost an incumbency advantage. He was the former president. So it's obvious that Trump is, you know, the front runner. Everybody knows that. But with Larry Elder, he, you know, it was a recall election. He needed to be out there doing as much as he could to convince people first to vote for the recall of Gavin Newsom, and then second of all to vote for him.
He was campaigning. He was
sure, but not debating.
Polls showed that he was ahead of everybody else.
Of course, yeah.
So why would he debate these 1%, 2% people?
Because Kevin Kiley was also good.
All right, let's move on.
That's just why. I'm just saying I liked another candidate, and I thought it was a little arrogant of him not to debate.
I think he's in C tier behind Chris Sununu because he's not running a real campaign, like a serious campaign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he says he just wants to bring more black people over to the GOP, from what I understand. And
oh, really?
If that's his goal, I like it. I think that's good. But I'm not even sure how much sway Larry Elder has on Black America. You know, I think most people listening to him are white. You know, so. But it's interesting if that's what his goal is. I got nothing against it.
Yeah, I don't play the identity politics game, so I got nothing to add there. Liz Cheney.
Is she worse than Bolton?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is she worse than Bolton? I think so. I mean, I would put her worse than Bolton, you know, because the left loves her. You know, the media is always fawning over her. She, you know, went to destroy Trump at every opportunity she had. She wanted to impeach him over nonsense. So I think that she is about as corrupt and bad as it gets in politics, and she's a Cheney of all people, and she pretends like she has a moral superiority. You know, she's got nothing on us.
Yeah, F tier.
Yep. Yeah, Francis Suarez. So yeah, he's the governor of or the
mayor of
Miami. That's right. And you know, I hear a lot of good things about him from Patrick Bet-David. You know, he's Florida guy.
What good things do you hear?
I hear that he was, you know, anti-lockdown on some things.
No, he was not. He was throwing people in jail for disobeying COVID orders.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I didn't know about that. Yeah, I've never really looked into him that much, but from what I hear, not everything is bad. It sounds like he's doing a couple of good things there, but
name one.
I mean, you're putting me on. I just said I don't know a whole lot about this guy. This guy just trying to, you know, one-up me. Not
well, no, because I'm inclined to put him in D tier right away.
Well, then go ahead. You know, I'm saying I don't know that much about him. I've heard some good things, like economically, that he's helped bring businesses in and whatnot. So I don't know. Is that good enough for you?
Yeah, I don't know. I was worried you were gonna want to give him like an A rating.
No, of course not.
All right, we'll put him in. I'll put him ahead of a congressman. Yeah.
All right, and then Pence. Yeah. Former VP Pence, you know, the human conveyor belt. So that's what that guy's good for. He's a human conveyor belt. I don't know if you just saw on Facebook, he's riding a Harley now. He thinks he's a biker. That's interesting.
I'm not going to defend Pence, but he has been a biker his whole life.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, Mike Pence, I think he's totally got the wrong vision for this country. It's, you know, taking us back to the George Bush days. You know, he's nothing special. There's nothing special about Mike Pence. He's just a standard line conservative that's going to continue to grow government and make things worse. So I think that probably a D tier.
Really? I might put him ahead of Chris Christie because
that's fair.
He's, you know, he was Trump's vice president. He can't, and though he didn't follow through when he was supposed to on protecting the integrity of the election.
Right. And all that Trump was asking of him was not to do anything crazy. He just wanted those electoral college votes to go back to the states so the states could do investigations into the election. That's not stealing an election. He wanted an investigation.
Is this gonna get us banned on YouTube?
Maybe. Maybe. Wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, then there's Nikki Haley. You know, and one thing that's very interesting about this election that I haven't really noticed in previous GOP primaries, there's a lot of governors. You know, this is one of those elections, and even Larry Elder, a candidate for governor. Way more governors than there is U.S. senators, you know, so I think that's a pretty interesting thing that's going on. You know, and Chris Christie, he, you know, centered his whole 2016 campaign on being a governor. And he was saying that a U.S. senator, you're not prepared for the job, you got to be a governor. So it's interesting that there's all of these governors that are, you know, entering the race.
That's true.
So, and yeah, Nikki Haley, of course, you know, she's a rhino. She's no good. Nikki Haley, Nimrata Nikki. She's, you know, saying all kinds of things in this primary. She's just, she's been endorsed by Ralph Norman, you know, one of the guys who stood against Kevin McCarthy. But Nikki Haley is just going to lead us down a path of hawkishness. You know, she's all about everything. So
yeah, I put her behind Christie, but ahead of Hutchinson.
I think that's fair.
A good spot.
Sure.
I think that's a great spot for her. She can mingle with her rhino friends down there.
That's right.
All right.
And then we got Rick Perry.
Rick Perry, yeah.
Yep, and I had seen a report that he is considering getting into this race, and you know, it's interesting that he would do so because he was the Secretary of Energy under Trump, and in 2015 they actually were going at it. Rick Perry was one of the very first candidates that Trump attacked. Trump was going after him because Rick Perry had said some things about him, so they eventually buried the hatchet. And you know, Rick Perry, like I said, he was the Secretary of Energy,
and before that, governor of Texas.
And when he was running for president in 2012, there was a famous moment where he couldn't remember one of the names of the agencies that he would eliminate, and what that agency ended up being was the Department of Energy, the one that he ended up running. So it's funny how things work out, and Ron Paul even tried to help him out on the stage, and you could see Rick Perry just was having a Fetterman moment. You know, he couldn't think of anything to say. So
Fetterman moment.
But you know, Rick Perry, I don't think he's the worst ever, but it sounded like taxes were pretty high in Texas when he was the governor. It sounded like there was a lot of problems. I don't think he's as bad. I'd maybe put him as
Esther.
No. I'd maybe put him above Pence.
I'm thinking C.
Maybe C.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I could tell, he's not the worst. Like, he's kind of just typical conservative Republican. Like, he'd be conservative for Bush day standards. I think.
For sure. Like, he was better than Bush as governor of Texas, but not much better.
Right.
So.
All right. Hate to disappoint. I think we should also leave DeSantis.
Yeah, we'll leave that to the end too.
Because we're a little biased here. So. All right. Tim Scott. Senator from South Carolina. There are two people from South Carolina who are in this race, Nikki Haley and Tim Scott. So it could be interesting.
The other U.S. Senator, Lindsey Graham, he's endorsing Trump. So it's interesting. It's interesting how some of the South Carolina GOP has been dividing as this primary has been going on. I think it's interesting. And with Tim Scott, another interesting thing that happened, Dianne Feinstein, you know, she's a John Fetterman herself. You know, she's got nothing going on upstairs anymore. She's 89 years old. But Dianne Feinstein, she accidentally confused Tim Scott with Raphael Warnock. And she said, "Congratulations on your race. I was rooting for you." And Tim Scott said, Tim Scott said he just played along. You know, he wasn't going to be, wasn't going to correct her or anything. But, you know, it just goes to show that she's out of her mind. But as far as Tim Scott, he is the choice of the Washington establishment. The Washington establishment, they love him because he's a black guy who believes exactly what they want.
DeSantis in like 5 minutes from now. He's the Washington pick. He's the establishment pick.
It's true and it's true.
Tim Scott's good on like a handful of issues, but he's really all about that BLM stuff. He's about the race baiting. He's really just like, I'm the black guy and I'm running for president. When really, like, this guy's kind of weird. Like, he's never been married. He has no family, no kids. He's 57 years old. Like, what stake does he have in the future of this country? So, I don't know if you had anything else to add, but I'm putting him in the D tier.
Yeah, I think that's fair. D tier is fair.
Yeah, I'll put him
after Christie or something.
I think he's slightly better than Haley.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't, like, Nikki Haley just oozes neocon vibes, and you only get a whiff of neocon vibes from Tim Scott.
Yeah, so. He does everything he's told to, but he just doesn't talk about it as much. He's not as proud of it as Nikki is.
Right.
Yeah, Nikki, she's proud of everything. So, then we go to Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz is, and as you can see, we got a very, very serious, there's a serious bar for what we like. No one in the S or A tier because most of these politicians are not that good. We have very high standards, and most politicians fail to meet them because we really want our freedom back, and these people fail to do it. And so, yeah, Ted Cruz, the senator from Texas, the Zodiac killer, the guy who he's maybe the least liked person, one of the least liked politicians in the entire country, just because he runs away from Texas when when natural disaster hits.
That's not fair. No, that's a left-wing talking point.
But
that's not
true.
He had this scheduled trip with his family or whatever, and then natural disaster just happens to come along.
I don't think it was scheduled. I think, they decided to go to Cancun
scheduled.
Because the power was out.
No. There is that funny picture of him in the airport.
Well, and also
with
Ted Cruz.
Texas mask.
Yeah, and Ted Cruz's dad, didn't he kill JFK? I hear something about that.
That's just another one of Trump's schizophrenic moments.
Well, I know he was connected. His dad was connected, and also his dad's like a radical leftist communist. And also Ted Cruz, the dude wasn't even born in our country. It's like the dude was born in Canada. Why are we taking him seriously at all? So, F tier.
I'm not putting Ted Cruz in F tier. I think he's actually B tier. Like he wasn't.
Oh,
I
don't
remember
think so.
I was like halfway on board the Cruz train back in 2016. So I think he.
We can meet in the middle on C. We can meet in the middle on C.
Really?
Because
I mean, okay.
I really don't think he's. I don't think he's any good, honestly.
He's good on fiscal issues, isn't he?
Occasionally, yeah, he does something good, but.
But you know what?
It's just nothing special to me. Are you remembering something?
Well, no, I'm just remembering that I don't know, he's kind of meh on social issues. So
yeah.
Maybe I'll put him C.
Yeah, that's fine.
Well, gotta put him ahead. I'll put him right behind Greg Abbott, the Texans.
Sure.
Can stand together.
Mm-hmm.
Vivek, how's it pronounced?
Yeah, Vivek, yeah, something like that. But Vivek Ramaswamy, yeah, he's, I see a lot of good things about him. The more that I look into him, the more that I like him. And that's something that I don't say about most of these other candidates because he's actually pretty good on the fly. He took on Chuck Todd. He took on Don Lemon. He won those exchanges when he goes on the air. He's tough. He knows how to talk. He's got a lot of the right issues. He's a really smart guy. He just whips out all of these skills that you would have never known that he had. He's not climbing in the polls very much, and that's because a lot of the Trump people say that we like him. And that's because we already have our minds made up. And probably same thing with you and DeSantis, that you like Vivek, but you probably like DeSantis more. And But yeah, Vivek, I don't think he's that bad. There's a lot of issues to scope out on him. Didn't you say once that he's got some ties to the World Economic Forum?
Yeah, nobody's really talking about that, but supposedly he paid, I think Yahoo News ran an article about this, like he paid to hide his ties to the World Economic Forum. I think he was like a scholar or whatever the position is. So that's interesting to say the least. I also don't like his abortion policy. He wants to leave it to the states, which I personally don't really believe. That's Trump's policy too, by the way. And in addition,
no, not actually.
Well, he's been avoiding
the Trump town hall. He said, moving it to the states, that's not the most important thing. I'm worried about other things as well. So
he blamed pro-lifers for the losses in 2022. So do with that what you will.
No,
but we're not talking about
exactly
Donald Trump. We're talking about Vivek Ramaswamy.
Okay, but I'm not going to let you just say that. I'm not going to let you just say that and get away with it.
That's what Trump said.
What Trump said was that a lot of these candidates didn't know how to talk about it. He said that a lot of candidates were getting screwed up, twisting their words, and instead of making the Democrats as the radicals like they are, they were falling into all of these traps with the voters and the Democrats. They used abortion big time to fundraise, to get people out to vote. So what Trump was saying was what the Republicans needed to do was call out how extreme the Democrats are. They're the ones who want post-birth abortion, 9-month abortion, 8-month abortion, and the rest of it. So that's what Trump's perspective on it was he was saying that a lot of the Republicans didn't campaign correctly.
You can't fit that many characters into a truth.
He said it in the town hall.
Well, I want to
Sean Hannity town hall.
I want to see. I didn't watch that, so I want to look at.
You're missing out. You're missing out. And if you did watch it, we wouldn't even be talking about this then, because you'd say, "You're right, Jesse. That is what he said."
Well, I want to, and we can edit this out if we need to, because I genuinely want to pull up this truth, because I think this is like right after the 2022 election. How do I find this?
Oh, it's tough to find. It's tough if you're just trying to find an individual truth on Truth Social. Good luck.
The guy spends like all day on Truth Social.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's still better than Twitter. It's still better than Twitter.
It's really not. How is it better than Twitter?
Because, Trump's not trying to steal our personal information like Elon. Trump's not trying to implant chips into our brains like Elon. Trump is just trying to, free speech, get the truth out there. But let's just keep going on Vivek.
No. Like I said, Dawson, you can edit this out if you want to, but I'm gonna. Fine. I didn't find it. It's out there.
Boo-hoo.
See, I'm not gonna continue when he does this kind of thing. Whatever.
Where do you want to put Vivek?
The producers are stacked against me here. I'm putting him in A.
Yeah,
I think
hopefully we can get to the bottom of the WEF stuff, and hopefully he, is a changed man. Hopefully he's not connected to any of the globalist movement. And
we didn't talk about his background. He has no political background. He's pretty much like self-funding, from what I could tell. He's from Ohio. Jesse and I kind of thought that he was gonna use this opportunity to pitch up Ohio's Senate run. But it doesn't look like that's the direction
he's going.
It
doesn't look like it, but he still could. There's still plenty of time. He might just wait after a debate or two, before he gets his name out there for a little bit more. But, it wouldn't be a bad thing at all if he were to run, because I think that a lot of conservatives have nothing but good things to say about him for the most part. So, we'll see what ends up happening. But let's get to the big enchiladas here, Trump and DeSantis. So, obviously, we're going to be viewing things a little bit differently here. I would put Trump at the top, and you'd probably put DeSantis at the top. But, I think... How do you view Trump? Where would you place him on this list without any influence of me?
I like Trump. I voted for him. Like the first election I could vote in for president in 2020, I voted for him. I was glad to vote for him. I just think he's lost his luster a little bit over the years, and I've been out on the campaign trail, in 2022, and knocked on a lot of doors. And people who are otherwise conservative have just been brainwashed by the media, and they just, January 6th,
I'll agree with you on one thing. The Trump derangement syndrome is the biggest problem with Trump.
It is very,
because he has gotten the left to go absolutely crazy, but also that's not his fault. Just like in life, you can't, you're not responsible for the actions of others.
Well, there are some things that are his fault. Like,
we're not responsible for how other people react to the way that we say something. It's not our responsibility to, have everything be a soft pillow landing on everything we say. Sometimes the things that we say are going to hurt.
Right. Well,
and
there are some bad things about Trump. I was getting there, like Operation Warp Speed. That was all him, and that's what Biden. All
you got to do is watch The Truth Hurts, because I've explained that one a million times over, and we don't need to continue to relitigate Operation Warp Speed. I'm glad
you picked up your check from the Trump campaign. Because Operation Warp Speed was Trump's fault, and he's very proud of the vaccines. And even now, he's still saying the vaccines were great. Many people were asking for the vaccines.
You mean the one that Ron DeSantis got?
The one that Trump got too.
Yeah, but Ron DeSantis hit it. That's
and
the biggest
Trump
thing.
orchestrated the lockdowns. He said, "All right, here, governors. Here's what I recommend you do."
And who enforced it? Ron DeSantis.
Briefly,
he still locked it down. It is what it is.
Yeah, Ron banned vaccine passports in Florida. Ron also banned child grooming in the classroom with the "Don't Say Gay" bill. He also banned centralized currency, so the FedNow stuff. He banned that. He's got constitutional carry passed. He got school choice passed. The list of accomplishments is crazy, and he's fighting Disney. And you know what Trump is doing? Trump is defending Disney.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
All right, we're gonna have another one of these moments.
There's no need, because I've seen it. And actually, you got to be on True Social more. If that's what you think is going on, you got to be on True Social more, because
the Trump indoctrination chamber.
You can get exactly, or you can just learn exactly what Trump actually says. Because Trump said, Ron DeSantis should have read this long ago truth where I called out Disney. And so he's been calling out Disney for a long time. And did you know where Ron DeSantis got married? Disney World. How about that, man?
Disney went, whoa.
How about that, man? The guy that hates Disney, the guy that's railing against it, he got married there. How much does he really hate Disney?
Yeah, and Trump got married 3 times. What's your point?
I'm not saying there's any problem with that. Are you?
I mean, yeah, ideally you don't get divorced. Like, why would you go into a marriage plan to get divorced? Like, everyone acknowledges that the ideal, acknowledges that the ideal is one marriage. Like, it's a thing for life. And if we're supporting family values here, like, that's something I kind of look for in a candidate.
Okay, well, go ahead, vote for Ron, if you want little family values like that. But, you know, we can have family values or we can save our country. You know, those are the choices right now. I'll save this country.
Is family values not included? Like the
because you
the
know
LGBT grooming stuff. You're like, whatever. You know,
who said that, man? You're putting words in my mouth.
That's the family values.
No. You know Trump's all against it. You know I'm all against that. So
actually,
why?
Actually, no. Trump is selling LGBT merch on his website.
Are you saying that Trump? Well, who cares if there's a gay pride flag? Who cares?
You said Trump was against that stuff.
He's not against gay people being able to get married. No.
Well, that's fine,
He's
but
not,
like you don't have to.
What he is against is, you know, the transgender athletes. He's against all of that.
Well,
he's against men going to women's.
Though? If he's selling the pride flag,
is there
where's
a straight
the straight flag?
Is there a straight flag?
Well, that's the point. Like, why do you got to celebrate his sexuality? It's weird.
Look, he's trying to make money. He's trying to sell some T-shirts. Are you going to get mad at him for that? You know, and
he's pandering. That's what he's doing.
Oh, come on, man. Come on. You know, I like that you're picking up some energy now. You're finally coming after me a little bit. It's the first time, you know, but, you know, it's all like, you know, Fox News attacks. You know, it's all like, you know, George Bush, like, you know, way back when, you know.
No, I
it's
don't
like,
know. Say you know again.
To me, it's an old Republican Party model.
It's an old
There's
Republican
a new
Party.
Republican Party model, and it's
one
for freedom.
that defends Disney capitalism all the way, crony capitalism.
You're
We
just
love
lying.
it. No,
Trump
no,
isn't
because
defending Disney. He never has, never will.
Yeah, and that's everyone's biggest criticism, Ron DeSantis, that, oh, you can't go after Disney. I know Mike Pence and Nikki Haley
yeah,
have
Nikki
both
Haley's
really...
doing that, but don't blame Trump.
No,
it's not Trump. You got to be on True Social to know what Trump's saying. Okay. And you know, if you're misquoting him, you're not knowing. So, how are we going to solve this?
If Trump, real quick, if Trump's trying to win my vote, you can't tell me, oh, well, you need to go where he is. No, Trump needs to go where I am and millions of other conservatives and come back to Twitter.
No, man, Elon is a fraud. Elon is rigging and tilting the scale for DeSantis. Why is Trump going to go there?
Maybe Elon likes Ron DeSantis because he's actually using his platform. And Elon went on a big limb to bring Trump back to Twitter. He fought all the Twitter execs.
Elon endorsed DeSantis before the Twitter Spaces. Elon endorsed him.
I'm not talking about the Twitter Spaces. I'm talking about when Elon brought Trump back to Twitter. He unbanned him.
Yeah, sure. And then Trump said, I already had to build this entire website myself. You think he's just going to walk away from it? No.
Well, anyway.
How are we going to get to the bottom of this? You know, Trump and DeSantis, I don't think that we can come to an agreement here.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking.
I would put DeSantis, you know, D or something, you know, and you would probably put him up, you know, so maybe
you would put him in D? Hold on. You would put him in the same tier as Mr. Rogers here and
yeah, I'd probably put him
Mr.
right
Hutchinson.
after Chris Christie. I'd probably favor Chris Christie over Ron DeSantis at this very moment in time. So
I think no. Even if you are a Trump guy, you can't put DeSantis in D. Are you kidding me?
That's what I do. You know, it's just my opinion.
This is the Trump cult, ladies and gentlemen.
Or the DeSantis cult. You know.
No, because I love someone like.
Well, we're both
no. That's going to prolong the episode.
Yeah, here let's.
Wait, okay,
I think the only way that we can do this fairly, we got to put them both in S tier. I think that's the only way that we're gonna come to an end to this thing, because otherwise we're gonna be talking all day long.
I was gonna propose a stalemate, but I'm actually because I would actually vote for Trump because I'd vote for, I mean, many of these people, not all these people, but many of these people if they're the Republican nominee. And I like Trump and I like DeSantis probably almost equally, but now you're just putting me in this weird.
You're coming after Trump pretty hard for a guy that you like equally to DeSantis. You know,
almost equally.
I'm not going to say that. I don't like DeSantis as much as I like Trump. I can't stand DeSantis. You know, so
yeah. See, and that's why you're making me the DeSantis guy, because you're just so unreasonably harsh on him.
Well,
and I like DeSantis. Look, he's younger. He's a family
Trump.
Values guy, and I think he can actually win in 2024. Call me an elected bro if you want to, but like that's what I'm thinking about right now.
All right. Well, you know, I think that we hashed a lot of good things out here, William. I think we got to the bottom of it.
Yep.
And, you know, I like doing this tier ranking system. I think that we can maybe apply this to future things. But, yeah, feel free to leave a comment. Let us know what you want us to talk about in the future. I think we had a lot of good discussion here. So let us know if you've got any other ideas and what you want us to talk about next.
Let us know if we missed something about these candidates. Let us know if you think we're wrong here, because, like, a couple of these guys, like, again, who is this guy?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. So leave us a comment. We love to hear from you guys.
Yeah, sounds good. Well, thank you guys very much. This has been Political Junkies.